So an artist today wants us to spend $400 to win a card worth $200? What? But I know for a ton of Cubs fans out there, this is how they think of Greg Maddux, but at the end of the day, I'm just glad to see another card from Blue the Great. So the average per run last week in Project 70 comes in just under 1.6, 1,597 to be exact, and that Blue the Great, Greg Maddux, 1,147. Welcome to episode number 45 of the Project 70 show. My name is Chris, otherwise known on Twitter and Instagram is at CRT_Sportscards, and my website is your number one reference for everything related to Project 70, especially first artist pricing. I did release the updated pricing on Sunday, and the Shohei Ohtani Tyson Beck held on to the number one spot. But both that card and the Acuna by Alex Pardee have lost value. The Tyson Beck Ohtani now sits at just $60 on an average value price, and the Acuna by Pardee, $58. Those are down from a high of $83 and $68 just a few weeks ago. So it begs the big question, and something I really thought about over the whole weekend is, will we ever see a Project 70 base card reach over $100? I don't know if that's ever going to be the case. If we're ever going to see a card reach that value, it takes a lot of eyes on a card to get it over $100. So if you're buying these cards thinking they're going to hit triple digits on the base card, I may slow the horses down a little bit, because right now, 3 months into the set, in the short term, nothing is consistently approaching $100. But now what is reaching 4 digits are some of the best players in the set when their gold 1 of 1 comes off the board. And of course, we all want to hit a gold 1 of 1 in our Topps packages, sort of the ultimate chase card of buying these on an everyday basis. So last week, over the past 7 days, we had 3 gold cards come off the block. Number 1, a Mike Trout Chuck Styles sells for $3,000. So very, very nice sale there on the Mike Trout card. The Sean Wotherspoon horizontal Chipper Jones sells for $800 on the dot. And then the only carded auction from a gold perspective that sold last week is the Doc Ellis Naturel. Over 45 bids, 47 to be exact. So very, very nice to see some strong bid activity there. That card comes in over $1,000, $1,093. So 3 strong sales on the gold cards from last week. And then on the foils, last week the foils on average came in right under $150. This week with 142 sales, the average value was $156. So it's good to see the rainbow foils on average of every card that has come out so far, or every card that is sold last week, is maintaining a value right about $150. And so what else is happening out there in the world of Project 70 outside of the 4 cards that released today, the 4 yesterday, the print runs from last week, secondary values? One cool thing is Topps released their very first video around an artist. This is their Meet the Artist series, and the very, very first artist up was New York Nico, an artist that I am collecting in Project 70. So it was a really, really great 10-minute video that explained his and Naomi's process for developing Project 70 cards. Also, it gives a backstory to New York Nico. And so when you think about his recent release, the Mickey Mantle, which by the way will not qualify for my no hat collection. I really had to think about it because he doesn't have a hat on, but he does have a crown. So I'm going to defer to that video. I highly, highly recommend you watch it, because the next one up is one of our longtime OGs of Project 2020 and Project 70. We have F-Dot, and then apparently the week after we have JK5. So after you're done with this video, go check out New York Nico's episode 1 in Meet the Artist series from Topps, and at the same time indulge yourself in that Mickey Mantle. I understand right now that Mickey Mantle is kind of turning into Bo Jackson. There is maybe too many cards at one time of these 2 new players in the set, but it would be great to end sort of their severe downward trend of Mantle cards, because the last 2 have come in under 2.5K. And I guess there's no better time than right now to congratulate the latest free card giveaway winners from this channel. And I did also want to say thank you to Pablo, who's a member of our Discord community, who generously gave away the Keyshore Pete Alonso Polar Bear card for our giveaway on Friday night. And congrats to Rich Thorne, by correctly guessing the print run of that card. So he won the free card from Pablo. And then my giveaway, the Vladimir Guerrero by Jeff Staple. Congrats to Sean DeVita, the second to last guest, with his print run guess of 1,889, just beating out the second guest at 1,888. So Rich and Sean, congratulations for your free cards from last week, and let's hope for some foils and maybe even that gold. So let's not pull it way back in. Let's not pull it back into the remaining 7 cards that we have seen this week in the set. And while I have continued my trek with New York Nico, I am today going to say bye to 2 more artist sets that I've been collecting since the beginning. But no, one of them is not going to be Action Bronson. Action Bronson continues to dismay so many people in Project 70. I do know that my man Blake and myself really like Action Bronson's cards. He releases Hideki Matsui, Godzilla, we've got Horizontal, we've got 1971 Topps. We have everything I like. I will only be buying one of these cards, although you could make the argument I should be buying 3, one for Horizontal, one for 71, and one for Action Bronson. But no, I'll go ahead and keep it simple. I'll just buy 1 card and make this 1 card count for 3 different categories of my collection. And so while I am 2 for 2 on the first 2 cards I spoke about from a buying perspective, this next card, I will say right now, I'm probably not the right person to critique this card. And this card comes to us from Jeremyville, courtesy of Toy Tokyo. This is the Babe Ruth card. This card, I'm just basically going to pass. I don't know how to properly talk about this card, and I do not want to do it any injustice, and maybe I'm doing it injustice by talking about it in this way, but I am not the target audience for this card. But why does he look so worried? What just happened before this picture was drawn? Did he strike out? Did he miss a pitch over the plate? Why does he look like his dog just died? But I will ask you this big question. If you had to pick this card or Ron English, which one are you buying right now? But if you're a Mariner fan, it kind of looks like Scott Service trying to hide the grimace on his face after seeing another Mariner go down with an injury in 2021. So let's just talk about something happier. Let's talk about another artist completing another subset series in their overall 18 card player run. We have Undefeated releasing Ronald Acuna Jr. This is of course the comic book theme. This is celebrating the young power hitters of the game. First we had Tatis, second we had Soto, and this now completes the trilogy. And the reason why I like this card so much and why it really brought a smile to my face, not because I'm collecting Undefeated or collecting this subset series, is because the image they used of Acuna shows he just murdered a baseball. He just crushed the opposite team's fans by seeing him hit a ball over the fence. And so this fits in very well. When you think of the comic book theme, you think of the hero defeating the villain. This is Acuna being the ultimate hero on this card. And so while we have comic books on our mind, we might as well cover one of the 2 cards this week that has a direct reference to video games. But this one, first one, is very overt. We have the Sioux Surgeon releasing Bo Jackson. This is Bo Jackson's 5th card recently in the set, and there's probably going to be a ton of Bo Jacksons coming down the pipeline. My question right now is, of the 5 right now, which one is your favorite? This one has a direct reference and tie-in to Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo that was released in the early 90s at the arcade. So I can only imagine kids who grew up in the 90s or even in the 80s or 70s spending a ton of money at the arcade playing this game. This was not one of my favorite games as a kid. This is also not one of my favorite cards of the week. But if you're a fan of Bo Jackson, if you're a fan of Street Fighter, are you picking up this card, or are you gonna go with another card this week? And now one card that could get missed this week, and one that I think should not get missed because it's one of the freshest designs so far, is going to be King Saladin's Mookie Betts. Now, what is Mookie Betts' claim to fame right now as of this moment in Project 70? He now is tied with Ichiro for the most cards. It's been a few weeks since we saw Ichiro, but now Mookie Betts and Ichiro have 9 cards in this set. Who will be the first to 10? My money right now is on Mookie Betts because he's a Dodger and he's a little more relevant today than Ichiro is. So now while Mookie Betts sits at 9, and there are a lot of fans out there who are tired of seeing Dodgers and tired of seeing Yankees, let's now talk about a Yankee, but let's now talk about the very first time we are seeing this Yankee. But it is also the time that I say goodbye to this artist 20 card run. We have Joshua Vidas with Andy Pettitte. And of course, look, if you're an Andy Pettitte fan, you have to pick up this card. Joshua Vidas is doing, basically, it looks like right now, a New York Yankee set. And somehow I started collecting at the beginning all of these Yankee sets from New York Nico. Now he's doing both New York teams, but we've had Joshua Vidas and Action Bronson. But here is why I am saying goodbye to Joshua Vidas. It is because of his last card. His last card was Lou Gehrig, released on Lou Gehrig's day in Major League Baseball. And that card was everything that I wanted from Joshua Vidas since the beginning of Project 2020. Pure black and white, because that is what I feel he does best. That is his artwork style, and that is what I like the most about Joshua Vidas. So when I saw this Andy Pettitte, I just kind of shrugged my shoulders and go, you know what? I have what I want. I have that Lou Gehrig. I have the black and white. It's 16 months of anticipation that has now been resolved. I have everything I need, and whatever else he releases in the future, it doesn't really matter because I have that Lou Gehrig. And look, if you're a fan of Joshua Vidas, keep buying his cards. Do not let my opinion sway yourself one way or the other. His set is different. I continue to like the black and white, but this one, of course, adds a little more color. But you know me, for 16 months, I advocated for a pure black and white card. I got it, and for that, I am forever happy. But now let's talk about DJ Ski. Let's talk about Fernando Tatis Jr., but also let's talk about the background. Let's talk about everything happening around this card, but not on the actual background of this card. Also, DJ Ski wants all of us right now to spend $400 of our own money on this base card for a chance to win something from his contest. So here's how the contest works. However many base cards you buy on the Topps website, when you email DJ Ski's team the copy of your receipt, you're going to be given a certain amount of entries in the drawing based on how many cards you buy. One card is going to get you one entry. If you buy 23 base cards, you're going to be given 123 entries into the drawing. Now, what do you get if you win? There are going to be 10 winners. They're giving away 10 2019 Series 2 Fernando Tatis PSA 10 rookie cards, and also you're going to be getting a signed Xbox controller from DJ Ski. Now look, if you win the controller and it's signed by DJ Ski, you're never going to use that controller because you want to save it, you want to put it up in a case because it's a really, really cool looking controller that goes hand in hand with this card. But to me, here's the catch. They want you to buy 23 base cards so you get 123 entries into the drawing. But we know you're never going to buy 23 cards on the Topps website. You're probably going to buy 25. So at minimum, this is going to be $385 before shipping and taxes to enter into this drawing to get the most amount of entries. Now, of course, I'm sure if you bought 50, you're going to get multiple entries. But look, that Tatis PSA 10 rookie card only sells for like $200. So I'm a little confused here as to why, as a fan of DJ Ski or a fan of this card, why I would be enticed to buy 23 cards of his to then potentially win a card only worth $200. Because the controller to me is not going to be usable because it's going to be on a shelf display. Now maybe there is demand for the controller on the secondary market signed by DJ Ski. It's hard to say at the moment. We do know that his autographs in the non-PSA version are going for a couple of $100. Those PSA 10 limited are going for the thousands. That's not comparable here, but I'm just really confused here as why I should be spending $400 of my money to win a card basically worth $200. But now what I would do here if I was buying this card, and because I'm not buying this Fernando Tatis Jr., this will end my poster chase for DJ Ski, I would buy just one copy of the card. I would then also spend $225 on a Fernando Tatis PSA 10 rookie card because you know what? We have learned one thing from Project 70, It's not about how many cards you buy. All you have to do is buy one, because if you buy one, you can find the gold and you can find that rainbow foil. With that, have a fantastic Tuesday evening, and I'll see you back on Friday night for episode number 46 of the Project 70 Show.